You're coming too.
What started as a dream is now our reality. 6 years ago, we poured her ballast, raised every frame, cut every plank, and named her Rediviva. Ready for life back on the ocean, this year we're determined to set sail.
Would you look at that? I'd say that's the making of a fine cruising vessel.
We're Salt and Tar, and this is our life. We're happy to share, and thanks for joining us.
My main goal for today is going to be measuring the main, the mizzen, and the staysail, because my next sort of bigger solo sewing project is going to be the sail covers. And so I'm just getting a rough estimate so I can go ahead and order this umbrella. We're going to go 17 and a half feet.
What in the world are you doing with this tape measure?
A bunch of stuff. What are you doing with that wood?
Okay, over at the bunker, and today I'm working on a piece of wood that spans across the davits that the track to our mizzen sheet is going to attach to, and it'll have a little car on it so I can kind of slide back and forth. It's a traveler. Just got this piece of fur, so I just need to cut it down to size, then run it through the table saw, take the width down a little bit, and put some, I don't know, kind of round it off a little bit, then route the edges, make it look decent. I was looking through the rest of my stock for a piece of hardwood to make this out of, just because, you know, it's stiffer, have the strength and stuff for having the sheet pulling on it, but I didn't have anything long enough. I had one piece, but it was literally an inch too short. So the fur will work fine, and what I'm going to do to just stiffen it up a little bit is when I cut this down to size, I'll either take that off cut or I'll take another piece that I have and put it along the underside on edge, and then I'll glue and screw it, and that'll be kind of like a spine, like a backbone, and it'll give it a lot of rigidity. So hopefully it won't bow under the load of the mizzen sail. Okay, that's the basic concept roughed out. Okay, got this clamped up, and I'm going to drill and fit some screws into it before I take it back apart, and then I'll sand everything and clean it and then glue it and screw it permanently.
got some leftover locust here for just like little spacers so we don't carve anything out of this cross piece. It'll just be kind of a nice little wedge between the tangs, which are kind of at an angle. So Garrett will do a little slope in the spacers. This is our track that we're gonna use for the mizzen sheet. This will be the end of the mizzen there, and this will be in the middle, right behind our rudder head, rudder post. And the block and tackle for the mizzen sheet will attach to that car ring there. And so we got a nice little bit of track for this.
Okay, want to help me take this down?
Sure. Angle them just slightly.
Angle, dangle, yeah. That's what it's all about.
That's what we're drinking. Angle of the dangle.
Angles and dangles.
What in the world are you doing now? That's dangerous. The tool is telling you what you're doing is stupid. Look at the flashing lights. It's like, hello, what are you doing? He's just trying to give me a heart attack.
Pass me one of those bolts without a nut. Thank you. So get it under, grab your spacer, slide that under, and then just stick a pole. So
Okay.
you just need one for now, and then I'll align it later.
Okay.
And then we'll clamp it in place. Oops, clamps. I guess we need clamps, huh?
Yeah, that would help. Thank you.
How far are you away from that like outer line?
A little more than half an inch. Alright, so we got the bolts and screws. These ones are going to be for the, oops, wrong part. This part. These ones are going to be for the legs of our track. They didn't have enough in bronze. We did look, but again, we want to get it done today. So we went with stainless. That's okay for now. And then they didn't have bronze for the actual wood piece. There's 2 on each side for those tanks. And the stainless steel, they didn't have 3.5. So we would have had to go with 4-inch, and they were really expensive. Yeah, in the spirit of just getting things done and getting sailing, that's just how we're making decisions these days. We'll be able to get this wood piece mounted and the track mounted, and then get it all souped after it's finished sanded, and then maybe we'll even get around to actually making the main sheet. We'll have to hunt for blocks and a couple other things before that's ready, so we'll see.
Probably just going to put a bronze cleat on either side of the track, and that way when you're sailing along your sheet, you can cleat it off, or if you tack, you can uncleat it, cleat it to the other side so it's easier to get to. got in our stash of miscellaneous stuff. Block. Building the boat in the early stages, like every single block is going to be wood. I'm going to hand make them, and you know, there's not going to be any stainless. Now I'm just like, I could not care less. I just want to go sailing. Yeah.
You did it so fast, I
Measuring?
didn't even catch it.
Nobody needs to measure. We'll label the cleats, you know, port and starboard, and then we'll also label port and starboard on the individual port and starboard.
Such a big kid. Garrett did a quick sand over the top, so I'm just gonna wipe it down, get all the dust off, and then kind of rough soup it, and then we can put all the hardware back on while it's wet. Now that we're into like year 7 of building the boat, that anything new we add, like the solar panel frame, looks like so much brighter than everything else on the boat at this point. So
That's because we also built most of the boat out of old reclaimed wood.
Yeah.
That's already very patinaed.
yeah. I mean, this was, I mean, it's kind of more old and reclaimed now because it was left over from our bulwark project.
Yeah,
But-
that sat for a few years outside.
Yeah, it sat outside.
It's
But
nice
then we
and
had
air
to clean
dried
it.
now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now it's like primo.
Look at that powerful crotch grip.
So Noah's gonna be here in about 3 days. So we're gonna put the engine cover back over the engine and sort of put the engine project, ongoing engine project, to bed for right now. But we're gonna deal with it later. The transmission is off, but if we can get the interior a little bit more put together and cleaned up a little bit before Noah gets here, then I think we can be really productive when he is here. And he's gonna be here for 2 weeks. I think we can get a lot done. Noah's awesome, so we're really excited to have him back. Unfortunately, when Garrett did the dock test on the motor, he found a new leak, but it's in a position where the hose has already been replaced, so he's draining it now from the heat exchanger, and we'll see maybe if we can sort out what the issue is.
So yeah, it's got a drip where the raw water and a discharge from the heat exchanger goes through the loop into the elbow, and I think it's just this this copper tube that comes out here. It's got like a lip around it, but on the bottom it's like kind of dented. I don't know if maybe it always leaked and I just didn't notice before, but
That was pretty easy.
Yeah, I think that might have did it. I don't want to bend it too much, obviously.
Yeah.
But
It's kind of nice that it is copper because it's so malleable.
yeah. Yeah, I could have easily just kind of like dinged it lightly on something while I had it out.
Oh, mm-hmm. Little bit by little bit.
Yeah. Hope is progress.
Yeah. All right, get this big thing off the table. Yeah.
There we go.
All right, let's tuck her away for a little bit. We've got the dinette back.
She's back.
I can't wait till one day this counter will not be used for charging battery tools.
Yeah.
And our quarter bunks are the tools that we pretty much get at every single day.
Well, I've been down below, everything closed up, working all day, and but I just heard a lull. So I'm gonna go out and show you the weather. It's been crazy. It's just been weird. It started off today, the morning up until, I don't know, maybe at noon, was bright, sunny, beautiful, barely any clouds in the sky. And then all of a sudden, it just started pouring, and then it started dumping hail, but it was like this weird kind of like big, fluffy hail, kind of like miniature snowballs. And then I swear I saw 2 snow flurries, just quick, but it's crazy. And then now the deck is just covered with this like slushy hail snow kind of mix. Check this out. Well, there he is.
The day Noah arrived was beautiful. We rigged the bowsprit to run the staysail sheet. We have to figure out how we want to lead it aft to manage it from the cockpit. Noah brought his girlfriend with him this time. Victoria's an artist, and we're so thankful to have convinced her to stay on board. Noah got to work right away, constructing our anchor locker. Bet you didn't know Noah was an artist too. We settle easily into our flow. It's such an amazing experience to synchronize energies and ideas. We're picking up the pace to get this girl sailing in just a few months.
Yeah, so pretty much after the hot summer, I've been trying to figure out, because I've used this caulking a bunch and it's always worked really, really well. Never had any issues, but I've had more separation in the seams than after this last dry, hot summer. And I think it's because I went crazy on it with the Festool with like 36 grit on grinder mode, and I think I just really tore it up pretty bad. In preparation for our next haul out, I'm just gonna do some seam maintenance. I'm not gonna refoul or recaulk any of the seams because that's way too much to do right now. And plus the seams they're on this kind of style, they're more decorative than anything else because it's all sealed up. There's no holes going down into the deck. So I've just kind of put a swipe of some more goop over the seams that we're kind of separating, just a really thin swipe, and then I'll just do a quick pass over with some light grit sandpaper to just clean the seams back up. Everything's still like kind of hard edges, and I need to go back and kind of probably use a router, round all the edges, clean up, wood plug, do all the finish work anyway. So that's what all the mess is. With the placement of this fair lead, looks like I can get it so it's mostly kind of under compression load. So it should be, we should get plenty of strength out of this.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I want to measure, of course.
You want to turn towards me?
Yeah.
One box.
One box.
Do we need to make like a platform or something in the back?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna need all kinds of framing to
Oh, I see.
support it everywhere across the back and front and sides.
Yeah, it's kind of like the initial fit, or throw it in there and just get a feel for
Yeah.
how everything's looking.
And then there's gonna be a thing that comes down from here, goes to there.
Put in like that removable backrest, kind of maybe out of Western Red Cedar, and so in the bunk we can lean up against it and stuff, and that'll pretty much cover up most of the anchor locker, but still removable so we can have access to it.
Up next, Victoria starts her masterpiece, and the rest of us assemble our project list for the next 2 weeks. Here's to getting it done.
Main, the mizzen, and the staysail.
Got the footprint marked out. Oh shit. I did it on the wrong side.
Smashing job, darling. Well, now it's wet.
Yeah, it's wet. Only a little wet though. I thought that might happen.
Well, we lost a clamp. Those quick clamps really kind of suck.
Yeah, they do. What's the damage? Well,
Well.
got some rudder paint on there.
Oh yeah. Just a little.
Oh my ass. I fell and sat on the tank.
Oh! Where'd the tango? Oh!
It's the most center thing I've ever seen in my life. Well, he needs a name. I can't think of one. Let me know if you've got a good name for my snowman friend, since I'm all alone on the boat today, since Ruth is editing.